Welcome to the first edition of the Bold Facts in 2017. And about this time of year I like to try and give you some predictions of what might happen in construction throughout the year. Now last year I had a go at this and I came up with the 3 Ps. And for those of you who are watching, there they are, the 3 Ps. It was all about things like politics, performance and people. So what do I think is going to happen this year? This year I've gone for, wait for it, 3 Bs. So there's 1. There's 2 and there's 3. Now the first B, no guesses, no prizes rather. You can guess if you like, but the obvious one of course is Brexit. So Brexit will feature heavily in construction. Why is that? Well, construction itself is about 7% of GDP, employs about 3 million people, and therefore any effect on that construction sector and on the economy in general will have an effect on things like house building, that sort of thing. But something else about Brexit that might benefit, and it's all around this, which is CE marking. Now CE marking is something that at the moment is required by all manufacturers to put on their goods. And you might think, well, how hard can that be? But actually underneath the CE mark there's a lot of information you have to collect. And it didn't used to be the case. It used to be in 2013 it wasn't required. Now it may be that post-Brexit you don't have to CE mark if you don't want to. Now, why is that a good thing? Well, in some ways, if you're a small to medium enterprise in the UK, you're just doing it for the sake of doing it almost. And CE marking becomes an exercise that's bureaucratic and doesn't add much value. So if you can take that away, you can make the small enterprises perhaps more productive and easier to innovate. So look out for perhaps a change in attitude to CE marking going forward. So that's a little bit on Brexit. The next one is my favourite, building regs. Now I did a video last year about SAP 2016. That will change this year. Now SAP is all about building regs in terms of new build, existing build, so therefore the changes in that will affect how our houses are built in the future. I did a video on that, you can check that out, you can have a look. So that's building regs for you. The last one, the last B, is Bonfield review. I'm kind of cheating here because its name has changed. It's now called Each Home Counts. The review is now out and there's quite a lot of recommendations in there, about 27 of them. I won't go through them all now because you'll get very bored. The key ones are that they're going to establish a whole new way of consumer having protection around retrofit. So the Bonfield review, Each Home Counts review, is all about trying to say how do you get retrofit done on your house in a way that delivers quality job with reassurance, with guarantees. It's going to be a long process, but there are things being set up by Bonfield, things like a consumer charter, a code of conduct, a quality mark, a code of practice for installers, a whole look at standards required, and the focus is really around a whole house assessment to make sure that when you do it properly. Don't take it piecemeal, look at the whole house. So I think that's something that is going to come into play very much in 2017 and perhaps beyond. So all these things I'll try and elaborate on throughout this year. I hope that's a reasonable summary for you of the Bs to look out for. I'm going to give you a bonus, because if you look at 3 Bs, there's an S at the end of that potentially. So what can the S possibly be? Well, the S is smart construction. Now, you might have heard of MMC, which is modern methods of construction. This is more than that. Smart construction, I think, is the thing that's going to really take off this year and next year. And it's ways of building houses that are not just about modular panels, but it's almost like flat pack buildings. And I've been to presentations where they've talked about using the QR code, colour-coded parts, looking at ways of really people who are not necessarily, you might think, trained in construction per se, can actually start to build properties and houses and factories, and that's happening now. So I think look out for smart construction this year. With the gap in production of houses required, that could be perhaps a way of filling it, but it's going to be something that hopefully I'm going to expand on this year as well. So hope you've enjoyed the 3 Bs and the bonus S. That's all for me for now, and tune in later on for another edition of the Bold Facts.